There are new demands tonight for answers about the health of Senator Mitch McConnell, more than 3 weeks after he was hospitalized for reasons that, quite frankly, still haven't been made public. In the new letter, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is calling on McConnell to, quote, fully update Kentuckians on his health. And just moments ago, Donald Trump said this.
Have you spoken to Senator Mitch McConnell since his hospital?
No, I haven't.
How's he doing?
I have no idea. I have no idea how he's doing.
We should note the White House provided that audio to the news media. MS Now has reached out to McConnell's office for comment. We have not heard back.
Look, was it yesterday that it seemed like everybody and their mother in the Republican Party apparatus had a 20-minute conversation with Mitch McConnell? Now, shout out to the staff and the comms people, because they're like, make sure you say it was good and he had good things to say. But is it true that people have been speaking to Senator McConnell? And I think that this matters, for one, because he's being paid by the taxpayers, but also, two, I just keep going back to the fact that on June 14th, he was hospitalized. He went to the hospital, and he has not missed a paycheck. He is getting the health care that he needs. And there are a lot of Americans across this country where that is not their reality and their situation.
Yeah, I agree.
And it should be.
I agree. And someone else who said it on our air is Barbara Boxer. I want to play what she said. I thought it was really poignant.
This is a public office. We don't work in the private sector. And you need to just get out there with the truth. And I am stunned at what has been going on. And I don't think that the people should stand for it.
Obviously, when you have a medical condition like this, there are HIPAA issues. But when you take into account that this is such a public office with millions of Kentuckians and their votes at stake here, there needs to be more disclosure, quite frankly. And I'm not of this opinion that there's a massive conspiracy to hold it back, because it's not like the Democrats would gain anything in this case.
Andy Beshear, couldn't he appoint whoever he wanted?
Well, the Kentucky legislature says it has to be a Republican. They changed the law. So it's possibly like a special election that could happen, and then maybe Massey could get involved in there. But it's not like a Supreme Court seat. So there is a little bit different there.
If the Senate vacancy were to occur, that seat were to occur before August 3rd, then they would hold a special election. After August 3rd, then it would go to the general election in November. And that's what folks on the Republican side are trying to control for, so that they don't have a situation where all of a sudden they're now thrust into a special election.
But what does that mean? Do the Republican side know something about what's going on with Mitch McConnell?
Well, of course they do. Of course they know what's going on. I mean, the Senate office is not operating in isolation from the Senate committee or from the Republican caucus. They're just not telling you. And that's unfortunate, because, I think Senator Boxer's right that, the standard should be, as we saw people falling all over themselves about my buddy Tom Kean and his absence from the House chamber, rightly so, making inquiries, what's wrong. You have a public trust that you have with the people of your state, but also with the country, since we pay your salary, right? And I think that's an important piece. I don't understand why we're now in this space where the health of these members is somewhat sacrosanct and a big,
especially
state
not
secret.
In this era, not in this digital
This is a double
area.
standard. Can we just say it's a double standard? I really do feel like, remember Lloyd Austin when he was the Secretary of Defense, and folks every single day people were asking about Lloyd Austin. NIH. So there has been a number of occurrences on the Republican side of the aisle where members are gone. Who was that member that was gone for more than 100 days at one point, and nobody knew, and come to find out he died?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so why exactly? The media apparatus needs to ask itself why they're a little more hesitant to ask about our Republican friends.